The new look of Squish Squash Natural Lemon Juice.
It's a very good afternoon. You're watching News Blitz at ZTN. Let's take a look at our top stories today. 55 pupils contract COVID-19 at a school in Zimbabwe. Civil servants to work twice a week. Passion Java to launch record label. And in sport, Dimba is king, jabbed and ready to roll. More than 50 learners at a school in Zimbabwe's Matabeleland South Province have tested positive for COVID-19. The Ministry of Health and Childcare revealed this in its latest update. The infections at the boarding school, which is yet to be named, make up the bulk of the 68 new COVID-19 cases recorded on Thursday. This is the highest number of daily infections the Southern African country has registered in over a month. Matabeleland South Provincial Medical Director, Dr. Jibo Chikodzore, spoke to ZTN earlier.
Essentially, the Ministry of Health team on the ground in the district response team is working together with education stakeholders at the high school to try and contain the situation. So the school has been put under lockdown, no entry in, no exiting. The positive cases have been put in isolation. Negative, those that tested negative and were contacts of the positive cases have been put in quarantine in a separate facility within the school. Then the health team will be monitoring routinely those that are in quarantine to check whether they develop symptoms or not.
Still keeping with COVID-19, Zimbabwe has recorded a decline in hospitalized cases and infections over the past month. According to the Ministry of Health and Childcare, as of February 1st, the country had 177 hospitalized cases, and by April 7th, the cases were down to 27. Reported deaths have also declined over the past 2 months, with only one death recorded yesterday. So far, Zimbabwe has recorded 37,052 cases, 34,814 recoveries, and 1,532 deaths. The national recovery rate stands at 94%. The country has so far inoculated 166,543 people. Zimbabwe Medical Association President Dr. Francis Chirowa speaks.
We would mean that most of them would have recovered, but of course some might have died. Some statistics are some of those might have the ones who were hospitalized, but some of them recovered. I can tell you that, for instance, here in the COVID isolation center matter, we had one patient who was there for 56 days, ventilated and was discharged. She recovered and discharged. So some patients stay for a long time and still recover, but of course some.
Moving on, following inconclusive salary negotiations between the government and its workers, civil servants have now declared incapacitation. In a letter dated April 8th, the Public Service Association declared that workers will only now report for duty twice a week, starting Monday, April 12th. The association's Secretary General, David Zatsunga, told ZTN that some government departments are already following this model and schools should follow suit.
We are hoping that at the institutional level, people will be able to coordinate and say who comes this day, who comes that day. Yeah, I think the others have already been doing that, like where I am in the higher and tertiary education sector. But maybe where you realize that sometimes if you don't have a lecture, you don't have to go to work. But I don't know what will happen with others, but we are hoping that at the institutional level, people will be able to sit down and come up with some kind of roster where they allocate each other days when they can come to work.
The Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Professor Paul Mavima, said he is yet to receive the letter.
I have tasked the PEMSEC to talk to APEX and authenticate the letter, because the physical letter has not arrived here. even if because it's copied to me, but I have not seen it. So I have tasked the PS to authenticate this issue, and I can only comment on it after that authentication, and also after engaging Cecilia Alexander.
Zimbabwe is investigating reports that 2 of its citizens may have been affected by recent terrorist attacks in Mozambique's coastal town of Palma. This follows desperate appeals by a Zimbabwean family whose 38-year-old son, Nyasha Mugwagwa, went missing on March 24th when the attacks occurred. Acting Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Amon Murira spoke to ZTN correspondent Tichaona Chikono.
We have reports from our consulate or our consular services in Mozambique that there might be at least 2 Zimbabweans that were affected by this insurgency, and we are in the process of verifying everything and making sure that we report the accurate information when it comes out. Because as you know, when there's this level of confusion, there could be more people that were affected.
Despite having a high literacy rate of about 94%, Zimbabwe has a 38% skills availability level and a skills deficit of 68% in natural and applied sciences. This is according to the 2018 National Critical Skills Audit. President Emerson Mnangagwa quoted these figures as he opened the Management Training Bureau in Harare.
We must therefore address this deficit. This calls upon the human capital development subsector to act with speed and agency to address these and other gaps in our system.
In our business news, we look at how Zimbabwe's Victoria Falls Stock Exchange is performing. Financial market analyst Kudzanai Sharara gives us more.
There have not been much activity happening on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. There have been a few trades that have taken place in Sitco International, and one of the reasons why there hasn't been much activity is because it takes time for people to get used to that particular investment platform, and for people to be able to trade on that platform, they need to start to open accounts to trade on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. They also need to open custodial accounts, which some retail investors did not have prior to the listing of Sitco International. And then there is also need for people to have an appetite on investing on the counter, the only counter that is listed on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, which is Sitco International. So there has to be some investors who have got an appetite to invest in that particular counter. I understand the management at the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, they are still working on getting on board small counters that can be listed on that platform, and the more listings we have, the more participation and activity that we'll see on that platform.
During the week, he is a busy newsman, running around sniffing for the next big story. On another day, he's winning souls for Christ through music. This is news reporter Takuti. Edition of the Worship Experience, a high-profile gospel concert. Chihambakwe shared the stage with South African icon Benjamin Dube, renowned Zimbabwean worshipper Tekshua Zama, gospel music veterans Charles and Olivia Charamba, among others.
You are my resting place, my redeemer, my source of strength and my strong tower.
I was really excited to be part of that lineup. I was surprised to have made it to that lineup. The promoter, Elton, told me in 2020, after the first worship experience, that I would be part of the lineup. Then I thought he was just joking. I was shocked. But I was really humbled to have made that, to have made it on the lineup.
Why has he taken the reggae gospel route?
Where we are at now, there's a lot of dominance in terms of reggae dancehall in Zimbabwe. A lot of young people, even your older people, have an appreciation of dancehall and reggae. So I realized that there is a niche there for someone who would want to, minister the gospel of Christ using that genre. So that's why we ended up going that route.
Chiamakwe says the love of music got him into journalism.
What actually got me to be into journalism was my passion for music. So before I then started doing news, I used to do a lot of arts reporting. So I did journalism to stay closer to the world of the arts and get an appreciation of how other people do it. So the balance was already there.
Are we going to see more of him on stage?
I can definitely tell you that we're working on something with the guys in the studio. Hopefully by end of month, this month of April, we'll release a new track, and funds permitting, we'll drop it with a video. So an EP might come out a little later this year.
Talk about having multiple talents. Still with music, we now turn to flamboyant preacher turned music promoter, Prophet Passion Java, who's in Zimbabwe to launch a music label, Passion Java Records. We cross over to Robert Mugabe International Airport, where correspondent Itai Mutiniri is having a chat with him. Good afternoon, Itai.
Thank you very much, Christine. We are live at the Robert Mugabe International Airport, and joining me here is Prophet Passion Java. Prophet, when you come here, you don't just come. What brings you here?
Zimbabwe is home. That's why I'm here. But we are taking music to greater heights in Zimbabwe, so we will be launching our record label anytime from today.
What's the record label called?
Passion Java Records.
Is it going to be exclusive to Zim dancehall artists? Because when I look at you, you've always worked with so many Zim dancehall artists. Are you going to be including other genres as well?
Everyone is included. You can see Magngwas is here. Different artists. Anyone. It's open for everybody. Everybody. You can come and see.
Okay. Well, there's so much controversy around you when it comes to you being a man of cloth and flaunting your wealth. What's your take on that, on people that judge you for flaunting your wealth?
Let them keep judging and I keep making money.
But Prophet, what does the Bible say? The love of money?
No, the Bible never said having money is bad. The Bible never said needing money is bad. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not to say money is evil or love of money is evil, but it is the root.
Do you love money?
Me, I need cash.
I
want cash.
All right, finally, how many artists have you worked with so far, and maybe how much have you used in investing in them?
I don't know how much, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money, and we managed to take some people that were in the streets, and now they're in their own homes, places that they can say, this is my home. People that did not have ID, now they have IDs, they have driver's license, they have cars, they have passports, they've traveled all in different countries and stuff like that. Simply because ministering the gospel is not only in saying Moses crossed the Red Sea, it's about changing somebody's life. If someone's life is not changed, then what are we doing? So a lot of people have been changed to their lives.
Thank you very much. That was Prophet Passion Java, who has just arrived in Zimbabwe from Tanzania. It's back to the studio.
Hope is the sanctuary we cling to heal. Violence knows no gender or status. Speak out against gender-based violence. Do not stand doing nothing but do what you can. No way.
We move now to news beyond our borders. The African Union's Disease Control Center says it's dropped its plans to secure AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines for its members from the Serum Institute of India, the world's biggest vaccine supplier. This follows global shortfalls of the shot. The announcement comes a day after European and British medicine regulators said they had found possible links between the vaccine and rare cases of brain blood clots. However, the African Centers for Disease Control Control and Prevention Director, Dr. John Kenkasong, is pleased with the vaccination progress on the continent.
Two countries, Seychelles and Mauritius, have received enough COVAX vaccine doses to reach 20% target vaccination benchmark, which was what the COVAX facility promised. So I think every little step and progress that we observe in the continent is good progress.
Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II's husband, has died at the age of 99. The prince married Princess Elizabeth in 1947, 5 years before she became queen, and was the longest-serving royal consort in British history. A statement from Buckingham Palace said, His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. Prince Philip and the Queen had 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. Nike says the art collective, which made Satan shoes that purportedly contain a drop of human blood in the soles, has agreed to issue a voluntary recall as part of a legal settlement. The controversial shoes were produced by a U.S. collective in collaboration with rapper Lil Nas X. The $1,000 trainers are modified Nike Air Max 97s. Only 666 pairs were made and all but one have been shipped. The collective will offer full refunds to customers in order to remove the shoes from circulation. The settlement resolves a trademark infringement lawsuit filed by Nike. We move now to sports news. The return of Zimbabwean football is imminent, and Dynamo's midfielder King Nadolo, like many of his mates, is excited about the prospect of playing again. But more importantly, he is glad to be healthy. Nadolo spoke to our reporter Wilson Kakurira in Harare, where some Dynamo's players were getting the jab.
This is a personal decision I made. It's for my own health, and I think it's the best thing to do. Yes, people are saying many things, but I, as king, decided that I should get vaccinated. I'm sure it will be to my advantage. Anything I want to do in the country or outside the country, and yeah, the big part is for my personal health and my family.
Former Zimbabwe cricket captain Elton Chikumbura has set up a cricket academy. The Elton Chikumbura Academy is based in Highfield, Harare, and looking to spread across the country. Meanwhile, Chikumbura will be back in his playing kit this weekend. The 35-year-old will play for Eagles in the domestic T20 competition starting tomorrow in a biosecure bubble in Harare. After hanging his international cricket bat last year, Chikumbura has assumed the role of player coach at Eagles. This will be his first competitive cricket since international retirement. The newly formed Zimbabwe National Karate Federation is the recognized karate governing organization in Zimbabwe. This follows the suspension of the Zimbabwe Karate Union by the World Karate Federation last month. Joel Rugwete, president of the Zimbabwe National Karate Federation, spoke to ZTN reporter Shamaine Chasweka.
We are not permitted to have any relationship by the World Karate Federation. And because of that, we have had to form different associations because we belong to different sets of rules and regulations. They don't mix. So to a very great extent, the formation of the Zimbabwe National Karate Federation is a very good thing for karate because people get to specialize on what they must specialize on.
And that's it from us from News Blitz today. You can, of course, connect with us on our social media platforms, Twitter at ZTN_news, on Facebook, Zimpapers TV Network, and on Instagram at ZTN. You can, of course, you should remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, ZTN. Visit our website, ztn.co.zw for more updates. Thanks for watching.